Hey Canada! January 2026 started with some uncertainty for Canada's economy, but by the end of the month, several developments pointed to a more positive outlook. While housing prices and inflation remain challenges, new trade agreements, job growth, and investment projects are giving Canadians reason to watch the year ahead with cautious optimism. Housing costs in major cities like Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal remain high, making home ownership challenging for many Canadians. Inflation, particularly for food and fuel, continues to strain household budgets. These factors remind us that economic recovery is rarely a straight line. January opened with renewed concern over Canada's trade relationship with the United States. Ottawa's decision to deepen economic ties with Beijing, including agreements on clean energy, technology, and agriculture, sparked warnings from U.S. political figures about potential retaliation. While no sweeping new tariffs were enacted in January, the discussions prompted market anxiety. Analysts estimate that avoiding new punitive measures preserved roughly 25,000 to 40,000 Canadian manufacturing jobs and $6 billion to $9 billion in annual trade value in steel, aluminum, and automotive sectors. This situation underscored the strategic importance of trade diversification as Canada continues to expand partnerships with other global markets like China and Qatar, reducing reliance on U.S. trade alone. Prime Minister Mark Carney's January visit to Beijing marked the first Canadian prime ministerial trade mission to China in nearly a decade. During the visit, Canada and China reached a preliminary trade agreement focusing on agriculture, clean technology, and electric vehicles. China agreed to reduce tariffs on Canadian canola and EV exports and suspend duties on canola meal, lobster, peas, and crab. This agreement is expected to support roughly 12,000 to 18,000 new jobs across export, logistics, and processing roles, and generate between $3 and $5 billion in annual revenue, particularly in agriculture and clean tech sectors. On January 18th, Carney traveled to Doha to announce a new strategic partnership with Qatar aimed at boosting trade investment and cooperation on infrastructure projects. The agreement is expected to create between 8,000 to 12,000 jobs across technology, logistics, and infrastructure, with potential economic activity of $2 billion to $8 billion over the next few years. Key sectors include aerospace, clean energy, artificial intelligence, agri-food, and advanced manufacturing. Unemployment stayed near historic lows in January. Sectors like technology, AI, and renewable energy reported strong hiring, especially in Toronto, Montreal, and Calgary. Analysts project that continued growth in these high-skill sectors could add between 10,000 and 15,000 new roles nationally by mid-2026, contributing between $2 and $4 billion in private sector economic activity. At the World Economic Forum in Davos, Carney delivered what observers called one of the most formidable and meaningful speeches in recent years. He positioned Canada as a stable, rules-based middle power and highlighted the country as a long-term partner for clean energy, artificial intelligence, and advanced manufacturing. Federal and provincial governments committed to major infrastructure projects, including port expansions, energy grid upgrades, and transit improvements. These initiatives could create between 20,000 and 30,000 short-term construction project jobs while generating between $10 and $15 billion in economic activity. Venture capital activity in AI, biotech, and clean technology could add another 5,000 to 8,000 jobs and between $1.5 and $3 billion in revenue over the next few years. Despite early challenges with housing and inflation, Canada ended January on a positive note. New trade agreements, robust hiring in tech and green sectors, and ongoing investment in infrastructure and innovation suggest a strong foundation for growth in 2026. While obstacles remain, Canada's economy is showing resilience, and diversification and strategic investment are giving businesses and households reason to plan for a more constructive year. Now let's take a quick look at Canada's economic health for January 2026. Unemployment hovers near historic lows, with strong hiring in tech, AI, and renewable energy sectors. Inflation is above target, with food and fuel prices remaining high, putting pressure on households. Annualized GDP has shown moderate growth, boosted by trade deals and investments in infrastructure. Housing prices in major cities remain high. Toronto, Vancouver, and Montreal remain expensive for first-time buyers. The Canadian dollar is slightly stronger, reflecting investor confidence and global stability. The share of exports to the USA declined by nearly 10% as Canada expands and diversifies its trade partners. So there you have it, Canada's economic landscape in January 2026. While challenges like housing and inflation persist, there's plenty of momentum building with new trade partnerships, job growth, and strategic investments. The year ahead looks promising, and we'll be here to keep you updated on how it all unfolds. Remember to like and subscribe, and visit maplewow.ca to read the full article. Have a nice day.